Guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, you're going to learn proper measuring technique if you need to center something on something else when you're hanging it. So in today's video, in installing floating shelves. This floating shelf, you may ask yourself, does it need to center between here and the mirror, or does it need to center on the toilet? And the answer is, it needs to center on the toilet. These enhance the look here of the toilet. And so when we install these, there's a technique that we use to make sure that we center it properly. That's what you're going to learn today. All right, guys, so the first thing you need to do is whatever item you're centering it on, like the toilet right here. The first thing you need to do is measure the width of that. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do, is measure the width of the toilet. The width of the toilet is, as you can see, 18 inches. That means the center of the toilet is 9 inches. So now you know what the center of the toilet is. So now to get the center on the wall so that you can center your floating shelves or whatever you're hanging, you need to know the distance to the toilet. To the toilet is 8 5/8. All right, so now we know that it's 8 5/8 to the toilet. We know that its center is 9 inches. And so now you add those two together, it's 17 5/8 to the center of the toilet. So that's what we're gonna do next. And 17 5/8 to the center of the toilet. So this is 17 5/8 to the center. So now we have the center of our toilet. Okay guys, and you see this bracket that I'm going to install for the floating shelves actually has a hole right in the center. If yours does, it's super simple. You place it on your mark and you're good to go. Let's say it doesn't have that center hole. That's the question. All right, so say you didn't have the center bracket like I don't, and you just had a floating shelf, or you had a shelf that you had to install, maybe it had brackets on the bottom side of it. What you do is you'd measure it. This particular shelf measures 24 1/8 inches, and so you'd cut that in half. So the half of 24 1/8 is 12 1/16. So what you do is you come over, you'd measure 12 1/16 in both directions, and that would center whatever item you are installing. So 12 1/16 this way, 12 1/16 this way, and then that is centered on your item. I actually have a center hole, and so this center hole goes just like so. So now I'm going to mark two of the other holes. So I only need two. We're not putting anything heavy on this. So this is the center, just like so. So I mark my first hole, and then I come over, make sure that I'm level, and I mark my second hole. Now that is centered over the toilet. Okay guys, these are my favorite anchor, my favorite sheetrock anchor for installing things like this. If I'm going to install a heavier item, I use a different one. You'll see me in other videos using those. But for this is my favorite anchor because they're just super fast. So I'll have a link to these in the description and on Amazon. These are how they go in. I literally just insert it, one down, one to go. Two anchors set that fast. All right, next we're going to install the bracket. So I put the bracket in place, put my screw through. I like just to start this first one. Start the first one. I give him a second. Really should have my glasses on. And set the second. Perfect. All right guys, so now for a floating shelf, these bars just insert here just like so, and you'll see at the bottom there's some set screws at the bottom as well for these, so these go down when you're doing it. I like when I'm doing these, I like to install the first one when we're just doing two, because this next one can be wherever we want it. So if we were installing three, I want to center this next one. I'd want an exact measurement so that I knew to make the next one the exact measurement. But because there's just two, we're going to place it wherever we think it looks the best. Now, I'm not going to take the shelf off again, so I am going to go ahead and set these set screws in here in case I need to set anything on it, etc. And I am known to hit things every once in a while on accident and knock stuff off. Spilt a glass of wine on my wife the very first date. Guys, now I have my wife actually shooting video, and so what she's going to tell me is where she wants this next one. So she's got these pro eyes for look, and so I'm just going to ask her like what she thinks looks best. I think that's probably close, but she wants it. Is that a thumbs up or is it move it up? Thumbs up? All right. I'm going to come inside here where this is actually inside the other shelf, and that way I can just make a mark that'll be covered by my bracket and shelf. And again, if you remember the measurement from last time, I do it's 17 5/8 to the center. Just like so. Repeating the process from the first one as well, if you remember. So I'm going to mark this outside hole. Level now. All right, set the second set of sheetrock anchors. Again, making sure that our set screws are on the bottom. You know, growing up as a builder's son, I've been wearing nail bags almost my entire life. And built us a home a few years ago, and then sold it a year ago, and we bought this house. And we're getting ready to start another home, and so we're going to be selling this house. And so like and subscribe if you'd like to find out what we paid for it, what we've invested in our little remodel projects on it, and then what it sells for here in the next month or two. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and create a great day.